Good morning, gang. Happy Sunday morning. So, yes, the aftermath of last night. Oh, boy. So I hope everybody had a good time. It was a lot of fun. I always have a ball doing this sort of stuff. So congratulations to everybody who won something. Make sure you get me your mailing address and everything as soon as possible. I will get everything mailed out sometime next week. Depends on what day I have time to drive to the post office. But that being said, okay, back to reality and the whole reason we come here in the first place, not for all fun and games, but for serious conversation about what's going on. If y'all saw, I know those of you that live in the Southeast have seen, Tropical Storm Claudette hit the Southeast on Saturday. And so, prayers, give your prayers to everybody in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida Panhandle, because they're getting dumped on, and everybody's getting somewhere between 5 to 15 inches of rain. Now, that kind of sucks for your garden. I was saying, kind of sucks for everything else. But in this day and age here, if you will, of the grand solar minimum, we all know that weather's got a little goofy. Here we've got 15 inches of rain on the Southeast, and, y'all in the Midwest and the whole West, haven't seen, measurable rain in months. I'm certainly betting the people down here would be more than happy to send some of it your way. But my point on this one is, what would happen? What would you do? I mean, what would you do if all of a sudden a tropical storm hit? Okay. Now, mind you, we don't hear about, we're in hurricane season. Okay. We don't hear much about hurricanes on the West Coast, but they do get them. Okay. And you're looking at a time now where the ground on the West is so parched that if they got any sort of major storm out west, it wouldn't be able to soak into the ground because the ground's like concrete. So it's going to, just flood everything. Same if you look in the upper Midwest. I mean, if it, with the ground as hard as it is, all you're going to have is flooded streets, flooded everything. So, tropical storm is a good idea for everybody to kind of take a look at their preps and go, okay, what if? How am I going to do what? Now, a few months back, I did a video on sandbags, and I know everybody, was like, big deal, sandbags. Okay, might be worth having some. They're not expensive, and, you can stock them up, and if, weather starts forecasting coming your way, you can fill some sandbags and protect your doorways or whatever from water getting into your house. But, you look at so many other things. 15 inches of rain, okay? Well, if you drive a truck, not a big deal. You've got ground clearance of 15 inches. But if you drive a car, let's say, your little Honda Civic or, whatever it would be, 15 inches is going to put your car, your motor, underwater, okay? Could trash out the entire car. Electrical system, gone. What are you going to do? Do you have somewhere to put your vehicle on high ground or on a hill so the water can run off of it? You're in a flat parking lot, forget it. You're toast, okay? Dog coughed, caught me off guard. Maybe you get something like, some ramps to put your car, the front end of your car up. May look a little weird in a parking lot. I don't know why you got your car up there. Well, rain comes in and water's flooding everybody else's car. Yours is at least safe. So you look at some of these things, because flooding doesn't necessarily mean, oh, gee, my basement's going to flood. I need to get my sump pump, where make sure it's working, or my gardens are trashed. You need to start looking at other things. How are you going to keep the water from getting in your house? What are you going to do with the sewage, okay? If you're on a septic system or something and everything's flooded, you might have a problem here, okay? Kind of hard to flush a toilet. If you're on a well, i.e. me, all of a sudden the water's coming out of the kitchen faucet and it's brown, what are you going to do, okay? You got to look at some of these disasters that happen around the country, around the world, and go and think to yourself, what if this happened here? I mean, it's, the reason I say this, every year, we see stories about blizzards in Chicago or blizzards in New York or blizzards in Boston or blizzards in Montana or whatever it was. And how many people in Texas actually said, you know what, maybe I better prepare just in case that happens? Probably none, okay? Until all of a sudden, poof, guess what, Texas? It happened to you, okay? Now, I remember being up in Boston when Superstorm Sandy hit. Now, obviously, it didn't affect Boston as bad as it did New York and New Jersey, but we still got rain like crazy. And I was living in an apartment. I was fortunately on the second floor at the time because everybody on the first floor got flooded out. Okay. And I mean, this was up in Boston. Now, think about how you are going to react to any sort of situation. Watch the news or watch, videos, if you will, on the people in like I said, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida Panhandle, and kind of look around at what they're doing and go, okay, am I prepared to do that myself? Now, I'm not necessarily saying, you got to prepare to board up your windows or something. I mean, that's, hurricane force winds, and I'm betting you don't get a whole lot of those in, say, I don't know, Wyoming. But, you're still going to get, fierce winds or whatever, and it can blow stuff around. My point in the whole thing is, don't ever get into that sense of complacency where you're going, it's hurricane season, it doesn't affect me. Or, it's winter, it doesn't affect me, okay? Yeah, it can, okay? And unless you're ready for it, at least up here and maybe with a little bit of your supplies, you're going to be caught, with your schwanz in your hand. And, we certainly don't want, that's kind of contradictory to everything that we do. So, keep an eye on what's going on. Watch the videos for some learning opportunity. I think of like Broussard Homestead is down south. We all know Danny and Wanda Deep South Homestead, they're down there. Domestic Gangsters down there. See what all of them are doing, and many others that live down south. But just ones I can think off the top of my head. See what they're doing to cope with some of the damage, or to pick something. Damage. How they're getting through normal life. Imagine this. Imagine it's raining like crazy, and a tree blows over and hits your house. What do? Okay, do you have tarps to fix it? Imagine it's just windy and a branch or something blows through a window. Do you have something that you can cover up the window with so all the water doesn't get blown into the house? Those are the things I think of, because just because it's a bad a tropical storm down there doesn't mean that, the Midwest or the Northeast or, doesn't get bad rainstorms too. Use all these things as a learning experience that somebody else is paying the price for something that you can learn. So just something simple I wanted you all to think about. Like I said, prayers to everybody down in the Southeast. It looks like this storm is going to stay just south of me. So at least we'll be okay on that one. But prayers to everybody down in the Southeast. Hope you all are taking, care of yourselves, and, nobody has any major problems. But have a good Sunday, guys. I got more deck to tear out today. Pinball out.